Hi, and welcome to another recording of Eternal Living, where we talk about living out the gift of eternal life today. As you can see, I'm recording this one outside. It's a beautiful day outside. It's not too hot. It's not really cold at all, but it's that perfect temperature where you're not sweating and you can do running and hiking and not get too terribly hot. But also it's calm, the bugs aren't everywhere, and it's just really nice. For some of you who may not know me that well, I love being outside. I love nature. Cleveland is a great place because they have a really good park system, and I mean they have beautiful parks everywhere. I didn't know being so close to the city there'd be so many beautiful parks. Also, what you may not know is I love nature photography. The camera I'm recording this on, I got that camera for nature photography, and maybe I'll throw some of my pictures up there. Actually, all the pictures, most of the pictures that have come up, really all the nature pictures that I've put on the videos for the thumbnails, those are all pictures that I've taken. So yeah, I love creation because I believe it's the closest, at least for me, and I really believe for anyone, the closest that we feel to God. Outside of being in a worship environment when people are in tuned to God and worshiping God with their full heart, mind, body, and soul, man, I've been in those worship services like that. That's a beautiful thing. I think the second best thing is coming out to creation and sitting out here because we are intimately connected, right? When in Genesis, think back to Genesis, God, right? He created us out of the dirt. Like he created us out of the dirt. We're earthlings, right? He took dirt and he breathed his spirit into us, right? So we're made from this ground, man. It's almost like returning. It's like returning home. So I love being connected to nature because I think it connects me closer, more intimately to God. And I think obviously this is the topic I want to talk about today, is that how being connected to creation also speaks to eternal life. It speaks to living eternal life today. So I'm going to look at Psalms 19. It's a very familiar psalm. I know you've probably heard before, but again, I have to read. This psalm is beautiful, especially being out here in the beautiful creation. Psalms 119, verses 1 through 4. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they reveal knowledge. They have no speech. They use no words. No sound is heard from them. Yet their voice goes out into all the earth, their words to the end of the world. Right? So this is a beautiful psalm that's speaking about how creation is speaking to us. It says day to day it's pouring forth speech, it's proclaiming, it's declaring, right? A voice goes out into all the world. Right? I think some of us may think, some of you watching like, I'm not really a nature person. However, we are definitely nature people when it comes to storms and snow and heat and cold. I feel like sometimes people they've been so out of tune with nature, and then boom, out of nowhere, like, shoot, there's a storm coming. Well, what's going on? Oh yeah, I forgot I live on Earth, where creation and nature are always present, right? They're always present. Sometimes we can try to ignore it, but why do that, man? Why try to ignore it when you can experience it and just be around it? I think it's such a beautiful thing. I love something I love to do is I like to a little about myself. I like to just watch nature videos that have no sound. There's no commentator. There's no one speaking. You just watch birds. I'm just watching bird videos. I have on my Instagram. I love just to watch ocean. Like no one's speaking. It's just you're just watching jellyfish and fish. And I'll be very honest. And this isn't to speak myself up, but I get emotional when I look at the beauty of creation, because to me it's speaking to God and his creativity. He is the original artist. He is the original one, you could say original painter, right? So whenever a painter paints something, they're trying to communicate something to us through that painting. They're trying to communicate something to the one who's taking time to meditate and taking time to dwell on that picture. And God's doing the same thing with creation. He's creating it to send a message. And that's what Psalms 119 is saying. It's declaring the glory of God, right? It's declaring this eternal, beautiful, majestic, loving, holy God. It's declaring, it's proclaiming, right? Any painter is they're trying to push a message without the painter saying anything. The painting does all the messaging, right? The painting is doing all the messaging. And it's the same with creation. Creation is speaking to us if we're willing to listen to it. If we're going to take the time and if we're willing to listen to it. There's one more passage I want to read. And this is Job chapter 12. This is awesome verse. Job chapter 12, verses 7 through 10. Job chapter 12, verses 7 through 10. But ask the animals, and they will teach you, or the birds in the sky, and they will tell you. Or speak to the earth, and it will teach you. Or let the fish in the sea inform you. Which of these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In his hands is the life of every creature and the breath of all mankind. What this is saying, it's like if creation could speak, if the fish could speak, if the squirrel could speak, right? If the chicken could speak, it's going to speak of the glory of God. If the trees could speak, if the sun could speak, if the clouds could speak, if this ground I'm standing on could speak, it's going to speak the glory of God, right? It's such a beautiful thing, like to know that all of creation is speaking the same word. It's saying the creation is not confused on where the gift comes from. Creation is not confused or where life comes from. It comes from God. Creation's not confused. Creation didn't rebel. It was mankind, it was human beings. We rebelled. And then creation was subjected to punishment because of us. It was part of the curse. The ground was cursed. It produced thorns and thistles, right? But creation, it's speaking to us. And it's just, if we're willing to listen, if we're willing to take the time, I believe we can experience eternal life today when we spend time out here. Because all of creation is speaking to the eternal God that created it all. And if we want to meet with him, one of the best places we can be is the place that he designed, right? And human beings, you think back to Genesis, creation was going on long before human beings showed up on the map, right? We were created on the 6th day, but creation was already there. It was already there. So I think it's really important for us to experience eternal life, to experience today, is to go out and be immersed in what God has created, and also imagining the future that is ahead for the created world, the future that God has, right? When Christ returns, creation is going to be even more beautiful than what we can ever imagine on the return of Jesus. So right now we can sit and meditate and think and enjoy creation around us, because I think it's speaking to us. It's speaking to us the words of your eternal Creator. I pray and I hope that this video is a strength and encouragement for your soul.